Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Ask Me Anything. I am spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White, and today is March 9th, 2023. How is everybody? We are having snow right now. Actually, we're in a bit of a blizzard as I speak. I was hoping spring was there, but nope. No. So, hi, Deborah. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, you just got fired. I'm going to read all of these as soon as I can, Deborah. I'm going to say hi to everybody. Hi, Karen Sweeney. Hi, Bernadette. Oh, got a good questions here. Hi, Susan. Hi, either Mrs. Hypno One. I think that's what it is. A good question you have there. Hi, Dee Dee. Yeah, more snow for us. You believe it? Gosh, can't we just be done with the snow right now? I think it's just gone on a little too long. Hi, Deanie. Hi. Oh, thanks, sweetheart. Hi, Mel. Hi, Sarah. My week has gone well, actually, Sarah. Thanks for asking. I think you had a sprained arm or a broken arm. I hope that's feeling better. Hi, Jane. Hi, Astrid. Hi, Tom. Hi, Ellie. Hi, Frank. Hi, Maureen. Hi, Marge. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Vicky. Hi. You feel like old family to me by now, Vicky. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi. So, Elizabeth, I know you have the same weather as me. Hi, Cindy Sue. Still love that name. I'm going to go ahead and start with the astrology, because I think it's important. Did everybody notice that? I'm sure you did. That full moon, wasn't that something? That Leo full moon. And again, I'm talking Vedic astrology. I thought it was an incredible full moon. And that brings a lot of changes into people's life going forward. And this month will bring a lot of changes. So always know that when changes occur, they're always about moving our soul to the next level, to the next place. So I'm going to talk about some challenges that we have coming up. And you're like, really, Kellee? More challenges? Yes, more challenges. Because it starts on about March 11th. So today's the 9th. So it probably starts around March 11th. And on March 11th, Venus is, the planet Venus, goes Gandanta. So Gandanta is the last degree of water and the first degree of fire. So it's really it makes it a very challenged day, March 11th. It's probably not a good time to discuss much because it's in Venus with a romantic partner or business partner. Probably you just want to settle in that day and, don't want to bring up too much for people to process. I'll say that. It's a very heavy day. Now on March 12th, Jupiter conjuncts Chiron in Pisces. And so Jupiter is the largest planet. It's the planet of, we call it the spiritual guru. And conjunct means it's next to, at the same sign, at the same degree as Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. So what does all this mean? And this actually only happens every 50 years. So it's a big deal because Jupiter will expand whatever it's next to. And so Jupiter is going to expand Chiron, the wounded healer. So what does that mean? If you are a healer, your business will expand, your work will expand, your gifts will expand. Okay. And at the same time, everybody, healer or not, everybody will be looking at their wounds probably. You know how people all of a sudden, they don't mean to, but they'll say something and you get triggered? It's this kind of energy. And so it's actually, if you get triggered, you really do need to look at what's that about? What happened 20 years ago that you haven't released or that you need to work on? Triggers are probably a good thing because they help release. If you really go into the trigger about what happened and you start healing yourself with different things. And so this on the 12th, it brings opportunity for healing. And it's especially old wounds. Some people carry old wounds for a long way back. And it's not healthy if you can start to get healing for this. So March 12th is really significant. Also, March 12th is really significant because in Vedic astrology, Mars has been in Taurus for 6 months. Now, Mars, the planet of war, the planet of intense and energy, has been, and legal, has a lot to do with battles. Again, war, ammunition, things like that. And Mars is leaving Taurus after 6 months, and it enters Gemini until May 10th. Now, Mars entering Gemini is communications, it's networking, it's internet, and this could cause or trigger us. Another word here I'm going to use, trigger riots. This could be a very, very intense time. Also, a very not easy time to travel. And I do know, I mean, my own family is traveling, so I understand what I'm saying when I say this. It's kind of an intense time to travel. I think it's going to be more challenged with either planes having a hard, taking a long time to take off, or I don't know. I think that there's going to be some issues with traveling. And I do know that it's like spring break or coming up spring break. So everybody have a lot of patience during this time. Also, Mars remains out of bounds. So Mars out of bounds is like saying it's a planet that's out of control. Now, Mars is not controllable anyway. I don't think any planet really is, but Mars really isn't. But out of bounds makes it unpredictable. So for that reason, this period of time still gets intense. But between March 14th and March 17th, so we're talking again from March 11th until March 17th, Mars is at 1 degree of Gemini in Vedic astrology. And it's the sign of communication. So it's just in Gemini, just beginning there. And it is squaring. So squaring is, think of like, a fight with somebody. It's squaring the sun. You don't want to square the sun. I mean, seriously, that's one thing you don't want to square. It's like squaring off with your dad. Not a good idea. It's squaring Neptune. That's going to be a rough one. It's squaring Mercury and Jupiter. And that could also make travel more impacted. And it's more of a real challenging time. So be kind to everybody for from, if you can, forever, but March 11th, particularly till about the 17th, really, cool your jets if you can. Be mindful of your words, because it's in Gemini. Gemini is about communication. I think we're going to see a lot of change this month, particularly. I think we're going to see a great deal of change in the world, and particularly in the United States. I think we're going to see a lot of change here. It's because Saturn, as I've mentioned this a couple of times, Saturn is in Sati Sati, which happens every so often. But when it does happen, this time it's when Saturn transits over the United States natal moon. So that could bring some situations this month. I think the last time this happened was 1963, with the Kennedy assassination. And then again in 93, 94 with the OJ trial and the Northridge earthquake. So these are things that could be indicated here. We could see earthquakes, absolutely, with this energy. So that is the astrology for this period that we're in. Okay, I did want to answer this question. Deborah, she says, "Hi, Kellee. I just got fired on Sunday and a mentally unhealthy person. Oh, by a mentally unhealthy person. I would like a reading." So let's see. Well, August 2nd. So your birthday is August 2nd. So August 2nd is a Jack of Diamonds. The beautiful thing about a Jack of Diamonds, Deborah, is they can just pop up with energy. Nobody has more energy than a Jack of Diamonds. If you lost the job, it's because there's something else better for you. Okay. And always view it like that if you can. I know it feels unjust and it feels unfair, and we've all been there. I promise you. Okay, just something good will happen, Deborah. I think you'll probably be put into a place that is so much better for you, and you're going to look back and go, "Whew, did I dodge a bullet? That was a blessing." So Karen says, "Kellee, I was hoping you have any messages." Oh, hold on a second. From my sister who passed on your birthday on 8/17. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy the astrology. Let's get a a card from James is Talking to Heaven, which I love. I don't know if you could see this. Talking to Heaven. These are great, great, great cards. So we're going to get a message from your sister, Karen. I think she's one of your guides, honey. So here we go. You have nothing to feel guilty about. So I don't know if that means you weren't there when she passed. I have no idea what that is. But if you were, maybe you're just missing her. You're just missing her. Sometimes people feel that they're the ones that should have gone instead of the ones that did, but there's no mistake in any of that. There just isn't. Okay, so I love this. Is this Mr. Shy Pino or is this Mrs. Hypno One? I don't know. Why are some people born psychic and others have to develop this gift? Great question. So everybody's born psychic on some level. They just are. Everybody has an intuition. Everybody may not use it, but it's there. Okay, it's that feeling like, should I do this? Or feeling like it's a feeling. Okay, now, I can tell you from my life, in probably every lifetime I ever had, I worked on psychic ability or mediumship. I think on probably every level I have done this. And I think in this lifetime, the reason I could kind of like hop into it is, which I really didn't hop into it, but it was a part of the way I was from the beginning of my life, but I think in many, many lifetimes. And so some people, and I chose to continue to do this in my life. So we choose before we incarnate, what is it that we want to work? Some people work like musicians and they do all this work on the other side and they do so much work and they come here and every lifetime they're working on their craft, or artists or writers. Same thing with psychic ability. If you would like to start working and developing this gift, it would be a wonderful thing to do, to get in touch with your psychic ability, to start developing it. There are a lot of classes you can take online. James has some great courses on how to develop psychic ability, and that's really what I would do. But some of us, again, have worked in many, many, many lifetimes, and on the other side, working to cultivate this, so we could probably help with the world here during this time. Okay, but thank you for that question. It's a great question. Astrid 1111, Una. I love 1111. Hi, Kellee. My birthday is November 3rd. So, okay, will I be a good Vedic astrologer? I need a teacher course. What do you recommend? Anyone in particular? Yes. Now, first of all, let me just start with November 3rd. You're a 4 of diamonds. A 4 of diamonds can figure out anything, and you would have the groundedness to be probably a very good Vedic astrologer. Now, there's a great Vedic astrologer who has a wonderful school of Vedic astrology. It's a University of Vedic Astrology, and her name is Joni, Joni Patri, Patri. I love Joni. Got to meet her once. She's wonderful, brilliant. She can explain. She's from Texas, and with the hair and makeup, it's just great. But she can explain Vedic astrology, which is really intense. It's just very simply. She can break it down, and she started her own university of Vedic astrology. And I think if I had more time, I would be, getting a PhD in that, because I think Vedic astrology is so important and so valuable and so interesting for me. And one of her first teachers was my Vedic astrologer and teacher, Chakrapani, who's passed now, and he was her teacher. So I just love her. I think she's the best Vedic astrologer, period. Hi, Wanda. Hi, Kellee. You mentioned adding crystals to your garden in an episode. Can you leave them out all year long in northern states? Yes, you can, Wanda. And I have left a couple out here in some of my plants covered with snow and ice and everything. I think they love it. Some of them I bring in. I mean, hardy crystals, you could do that. Hardy rocks, hardy crystals. Yes. I love crystals in my garden. Love them. It just brings everything so much, energy. It's a great question, though. Thanks for that question. I just love it. Tanya Spencer Mays. Hi, Kellee. I'm having a spiritual awakening since my grandmom's spirit presented to me. What does it mean to keep seeing the numbers 555? Okay, and you'd love a mini reading. So funny, your birthday is the same day as my beautiful daughter, Holiday. So you're a 6 of diamonds. 6 of diamonds is somebody who it comes for financial balance and really loves peace in their life. They want peace, and they always have to learn to take a stand. So it's a Six of Diamonds is great. They love to have their people around. And so a spiritual awakening, since you saw your grandmother's spirit, that would be a absolutely, absolutely. Our grandmothers will come, and I wanted to talk about that. It's funny. I'm glad you brought this up. Our grandmothers will always check on us, whether you knew them, whether you didn't know them. And if she presented herself to you, that means that she really wanted to wake you up. So that's a great thing. And 555 means change, change, change. So look for, and again, we're in a pattern right now of some big changes for people. So I think it's going to be a really, really good thing there. And along that question, Renee Hounsel asked me, and Renee, this was a great question. She said, I have been hearing about the Matrix. Remember the movie, The Matrix, and just the idea of the Matrix from many different people speaking about awareness and some spiritual topics. She said, I've not found a clear answer as to what exactly the Matrix is. Do I have a theory or insight into what the Matrix is? I have an idea. I have some insight to it. And I thought I would just share this with you. And it actually starts with my grandmother. And that's where I wanted to go back. I didn't understand the whole idea of the Matrix. I hate to sound like this, but I swear I think I fell asleep during it early on. Now, if I were to see it, I'd have a different interest in it. I think it was 20 years ago when the movie came out. So I think, honestly, I think it was right at my head injury or so, right near that time. But regardless, about maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago or so, maybe longer, maybe 12 years ago, my grandmother came to me. And my grandmother has been gone for 40 years, But my grandmother came to me, and I was really close with my grandmother. And she came to me, and this is what I saw. She said to me, I said, Grandma, I was so happy to see her. And she got as close to me as she could. But what presented was this kind of a mesh mosquito net almost. It's the only way I can describe it. It's like a mesh kind of mosquito net, the kind of really close like this. And the more I spread out, I realized that she could not enter, wait for it, my matrix. Because if she had, it would have influenced my path, my karma, maybe my choices. She did say to me, you're wearing purple. She said, you have the aura of purple. I remember her saying that really clearly. And that's when I realized what a matrix was. And so the matrix for me, what it means is it's a structure, if you will. And this earth, our dimension here, is a structure that our reality is our time and our space framework doesn't allow us to perceive anything else unless you're psychic medium or you start thinking in those terms. And so I feel that the matrix is a place where we are. We are in this particular matrix right here. So that's the way I would answer that. It's so complicated, but that's kind of the simple. I hope, Renee, that helps on some level. It's about as simple as I can get with that, because it's such a complicated thing, actually, I think. But that was a good question, so thank you for that. I hope that helps. And I wanted to answer. There's so many questions here that I wanted to answer, but okay. Poonam CK. Okay, can empaths be healers? Absolutely. So, absolutely, and non-empaths can be healers. Empaths can be healers, and non-empaths can be healers. And here's what I would say. Empaths tend to be at least more right-brained. Most or almost all right-brained. But you can have both left and right brain. I've seen some healers that are more left brain, which means they're more in their mind when they're doing it. So, but healing to me comes in the right brain and from that energy standpoint. But yes, I've seen both. Yes, of course, empaths absolutely can be healers. Absolutely. So good question. Thank you. Hi, Joseph. Hi, Kellee. Thank you for everything that you do to help people. My wife passed in November. Does she have a message for me? My birthday is 11/3. So 11/3, again, we just had that. That's interesting. It's a 4 of diamonds. I'm sorry that your wife passed. So let's get you a message from her. I suspect, Joseph, she's all around you every day. That's how love works. Okay. We will be together again. We will be together again. Just know that she's there with you. Okay, honey? Just know that. It's I've got chills. She's definitely around you. Hi, Regina. Kellee, I'd love a mini reading December 7th. Also, when we schedule a reading with you, do you actually tell us our life purpose? I do. I mean, I have a spiritual what is it? Soul reading and spirit guides. And I often, if you do that one, I often go right into the soul purpose. But almost every reading, except for mediumship, every once in a while I'll cover it. But usually straight mediumship that's what it is, straight mediumship. But all the other ones I always try to cover that because I think it's important that people know. But that's a good question. December 7th. So you're December 7th. You are a Jack of Clubs. So a Jack of Clubs. And I see that crow. So I'm going to answer another question about crows because somebody had asked me. So that's a second message that I've had about crows today. And I don't mean to interrupt that. But December 7th is a Jack of Clubs. And Jack of Clubs is about, they often are healers themselves. The females tend to be healers. They are they almost always are here for some sort of healing work. Really creative. Always has to make sure to let go of negativity if they can. Okay. So your purpose would be, I'm going to say, to probably be a healer in this life is what I would say, or to work on healing for sure. Now, here's a good question. Okay. Hi, Vicki. Hi, Kellee. Not sure you saw my question I wrote earlier, but when we cross over to our loved ones, our soulmate, can we feel any intimacy, closeness, like hugging, kisses, holding hands? Yes, 1,000 times yes. I know you have said that often when we connect on the other side, our souls take the form of how we remember our loved ones. Yes. I've wanted to ask this question. I just keep forgetting. Thanks, Kellee. I appreciate and love you. How sweet. I love you too, Vicki. Bless your heart. Mike, your husband will be grabbing you. And that's the end of that. And that'll be the end of that. Yes, our loved ones hug us. There's so much joy. There's intimacy. There's whatever it is that you are needing to experience, you're going to experience there. They can't wait to give us a hug. I've had dreams, so many dreams of my loved ones on the other side giving me big hugs. So many of this. But let me get you a card from Mike. Interesting. Okay, this is perfect for you, Vicki. My death was painless. Please don't worry or hold on to guilt. Oh, I've got chills with that one. I've got chills on that one. It's funny, those black birds again. So there's a question that somebody wrote to me, and I really wanted to answer this because it was such a great, I thought it was so terrific. John Burrow, he said, hi, Kellee, November 16th. So that makes you a 4 of clubs like me. He says, I would like to know of any significance to this event. He said, on October 29th, 1922, in Victoria, British Columbia, at 4 p.m. at the hospital with my family waiting for the birth of my first grandchild, a little girl. She came a month early. While waiting outside with my family to hear how everything went, when all of a sudden a flock of 70 to 100 crows flew in, landed on the trees by the hospital entrance. Beautiful to see and hear. And they stayed for 5 or 10 minutes, and then they all flew off together. So it's so funny. I have to tell you, John, I've been working on a crow totem for the last several days, and I just haven't finished it yet. It's been too busy, but so to have this question, it was like, oh, I'm on the right track here. So crows represent family. Crows, I know that those crows that will be your granddaughter's birth totem for sure. For sure. It means that she will have magic and intuition and psychic ability, and they all come to greet her. I mean, she's part of the clan, I would call it. I bet she's going to have extraordinary psychic ability, frankly. I really do. So my family was all from Crow County in another state. I think it was Alabama. And I always thought that was so fascinating to me. So there you go. And then this is Ellie O'Connor. She said, Kellee, I want to study and master Vedic astrology. So definitely go to check out University of Vedic Astrology. And that's with Joni Patry, Patry or I can't remember, but she's terrific. So I think I have this thing now about those crows. What about those crows? Okay, Ward Vandeplas, can you help me? I'm assuming astral project in your sleep, happening strange things. I sometimes get scared because it's always dark. I only feel and hear, but always black vision. Okay, so what happens is, um, we go to sleep. Our souls kind of tend to. We don't leave the body. There's a cord that's attached. We're not going to just go off into forever land and not come back. We travel. It's called. Sometimes it's a conscious thing, and sometimes it just happens. With me, it would used to I just pop out of my body. I'm like, oh my god! And at first, it was really scary. To be honest, it was scary at first. Um, then I kind of got used to it and had a lot of fun with it. So if you, I understand you would get scared because it would, and it's in the dark. Uh, ask your guides to go with you, okay, and say, let's go somewhere. Let's go from room to room in the house. Start like that. And I don't know why it's black vision, but I think it's the fear that brings it on. I think it's the fear comes first. And enjoy the process, Ward. It's part of what our souls can do, and it's kind of, read all about it, but don't have any fear about it. But it's understandable that you would. Don DeGroat, why does Mars get such a negative viewpoint? I'm Aries. Mars is my ruling planet. Well, Aries is unafraid of everything. They're the first one. Completely unafraid. You're right. Mars, I'll tell you why it gets such a negative viewpoint. First of all, you need Mars. Everybody has to have a healthy Mars. The reason that's important is because we need power in our lives, right? We need the power. We need the fearlessness. We need all of that. So I'm not opposed to Mars. I just know that Mars can cause some, action to happen, which is why we incarnated. So Mars, as your ruling planet, would make you to be able probably to be fearless. And people would probably trust you on that. Oh, look, she's going to do this now and go here. And God bless you for that. That's a big deal. Yeah, that's a big deal. So thanks for that question, though. Hi, Lori Counts. Evening, Kellee. Today is a 1-year anniversary of my father's passing. May I have a card, please? Oh, my gosh, Lori. Absolutely. I've noticed there's a lot of anniversaries of our loved ones passing this month. Is that interesting? So let's get you a card from your beloved dad. Your dad says, we are soulmates. There's no doubt, Lori. You always think of him that way. He's a sweetheart. I know he is always there helping you with everything that you're going through right now. Okay? So there you go, honey. Susan Carver says, so many I would love to hear from. I do end-of-life care. Wow, Susan, good for you. I would especially like to hear from my brother who passed in 1987. So let's get you a card, Susan. So first of all, doing end-of-life care is God's work. That's really powerful to be able to have to do that work. It's sacred. That's the word. It's sacred work, Susan. So let's get you a card from your brother here. He says, to tell you, I feel healthy and happy. Okay. There you go, honey. So that's a good one. Maureen Walton, what am I? May 3rd, 1951. So May 3rd, you are May 3rd is a 3 of spades. So 3 of spades is somebody who's very creative, very force of nature creative. They also, a 3 of spades has a damn good business sense. So weirdest thing, business sense and creative. Really, really good for that. So let's get you a card from your soul's journey here. So let's see. I've got these cards from James, which these are wonderful cards. The soul journey cards. Let's get you a card from that and see what that has to do with anything. Here we go. Perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. That would be perfect for a 3 of spades, because a 3 of spades can do anything. There's certain cards that really have that ability, and that is certainly one of them. Okay. So here, this is a good one. Rome Balenciaga. She said, hi, Kellee. I've been on a spiritual journey for about 1.5 years now. As recently at night, I get this constant ringing in my left ear. And last night I was in a deep thought about something and I got a high-pitched ringing in my right ear, as if somebody were screaming at me. The ringing in my left ear is constant and it seems to get louder at night. And sometimes it's like a sequence. Is there anything I can do? So often when this is happening, obviously have everything checked out, from an ear doctor's perspective. But from a spiritual standpoint, it's when our psychic abilities start to kick in. So it's and you said you've been on a spiritual journey for a year and a half. So it's when they might be working on our hearing. I always call them like psychic surgeons. They might be working on getting your hearing psychic ability coming in to this area. So that it often starts that way. So Judy Nowicki, I lost my dad 7 years ago and we never got to say goodbye. I was wondering if dad is around us and has something to say. He's so missed. So, and your birthday is 7/7. So that makes you an 8 of diamonds. So when our loved ones pass and we don't get to say goodbye to them, this is really important. That means that you were not supposed to be there. Probably won't make sense to you. I had a situation with my own mother, and I was really sick when she was dying, and really sick. And so I had taken a bunch of medicine. I was just told that she's still good for a few more days. And I was so sick that I had to take a bunch of medicines because I didn't want to kill her if I was around her, which she was going to pass anyway. But that was my mind thought in my mind. But anyway, I took a bunch of stuff and then the phone rang. And of course, your mother's going right now. And I'm going to tell you what, that adrenaline kicked into my system so fast, so hard that I pulled out of, I don't know what I took, but it was enough to knock out a horse. And I just got up, and then Don got us, and I just drove there. And I was like, Mom, don't pass yet. Wait, let me get there. But I also knew that if I didn't get there, it was the way it was supposed to be. But when I got there, she was still alive. In fact, remained alive for a few more hours, which really surprised all of us. So my point is, I also know people that get up, they're with their mothers or their loved ones. They get up to go to the bathroom. They'll be right back. In that bathroom break for one moment, their loved one passes. So that means you weren't supposed to be there. But I know it's a tough one, isn't it? It's a tough one here. But I wanted to get you a card. Wait, let me just get you a card here from him. Believe in yourself. He says you can do it. Okay, Doug, what is the difference between our soul and our spirit? Full-time caregiver, 211. Doug, a full-time caregiver, you definitely get a card here. So I'm going to talk about that. James and I talk about that a lot, and he has a great explanation. He says our soul is like a glass. Imagine our body, and our spirit is what fills up that glass. So that's the way James would explain that. And I like that explanation. Our spirit is, you know how you say, that person has spunk, that person has spirit, like that energy, and our soul is this timeless, forever soul. And I think that the spirit is what gives our soul this action here, So, and a full-time caregiver, 211. So you are February 11th, which would make sense that you're a caregiver. God bless you. You're an Ace of Spades. So Doug, Ace of Spades is between the material world and the spiritual world. And always, always an Ace of Spades takes a deeply profound life. And it's all about spirituality. So you would be helping the people you're the caregiver of. And you'd probably be learning a lot from them too. It's really an act of love when you do that. So I think that's a big deal here. I had another question here that I wanted to answer. Mitzi Crothers. Hi, Kellee. I woke up at 2:30 a.m. and ready to see you at 3, but I had the wrong morning. So I know you live in Zimbabwe, I think. So you could really use a card. She said, it's been 1 year since your mother died and it was her birthday. Okay. And okay, and your family getting together and sorting stuff out. Now, isn't it true when somebody and a family member dies, a mother or father, oh my God, there can be such damn chaos. Oh my God. And you said, I remember that you had problems with your family. Yes, I did. Oh boy. It was some sort of hell I was in. But let's get you a card, okay, from your mother. Okay. And I think that when our parents die, and there is all kinds of trouble in the family, it's all a learning experience. There's not that buffer anymore. It's a rough one. Okay. I always give you a good night kiss. So your mom is always there with you, honey. Always there with you. Okay. Patrice Platt. She said, I would love to have a reading. You're a Jack of Hearts, Patrice, 7:30. And your sister Marguerite and niece are Gina Marie are listening. Well, hi, everybody. So a Jack of Hearts is somebody that has sacrificed a lot in their life. Their lifetime is about sacrifice. It's always so your soul will expand. Okay, so, and Luann Ford asked me, can I do a show on crystals? Yeah, I will do a show on crystals. Thank you for that, because I think that is an important one. And Lori Clark says, pull a card for my brother who passed. You got it, honey, 2 years ago. He says to tell you there is no such thing as death. I hear this a lot from the people on the other side. There's like, I'm not dead. I'm physically not present, but I am not dead. I hear that one a lot. Oh, and Kim Ann, thank you for this. She said, listening to the Brooke Shields podcast where she's interviewing Monica Lewinsky, and Monica talks about using energy work and somatic therapy to work through the Clinton scandal. Wow, that is fascinating. I will have to share that with Shirley, because I think that is fantastic. Okay, Cindy B. Hello, my stepdaughter is fighting cancer. Her birthday is May 28th. So let's look at that. May 28th. Oh, a 4 of clubs like me. What card is she, and what insight to her purpose can I provide? She's a 4 of clubs. And the insight is she's here to learn and communicate and learn everything. Anybody that, if you ever hear me say club, they're here to learn. It's like, ooh, I'm going to learn something new, And a 4 of clubs loves to learn. So she would come for learning. And so maybe she's learning everything about cancer right now, and what it's like to have this experience. It's an experience, So Cindy Sue, hi, Kelly. I took baby steps to start my own business yesterday. Go you. It's a perfect time for this. Any insight would be greatly appreciated because you did it right at that full moon. My birthday is August 17th. So August 17th is a 9 of clubs. And 9 of clubs is here also for learning and completion and things. And I think your soul would not have felt complete unless you did your own business. Okay, I think good for you. And it's something that I want to talk about too, before I forget, is we have something really exciting coming up. And this is the end of September, beginning of October. This is the International Mediumship Summit, Psychic and Mediumship Summit. And this is, I got it right, International Psychic and Mediumship Summit of 2023. It's the first of its kind. And it's going to be extraordinary. It's going to be in Los Angeles. And Renee's going to actually post this. And I'm so glad that we're getting to talk about this. So let's talk about who's going to be there, because it's really the who's, I think, of mediumship. It's the most, I think, incredible mediums. I love Lynn Probert's going to be there, Tony Stockwell, Lauren Rainbow, Harry T. And everybody has loved Harry T when we've had him on our show. I've traveled a lot with Lynn and Tony. So much fun. So much fun. And Danielle McKinnon, who does animal mediumship. And then there's Lisa Williams. She was on one of my shows once too. Lisa Williams is a great medium. And there's, of course, James Van Prague. How great is that going to be? And me. Ooh, I'm so excited. And oh my God, Chris Drew. And if you haven't met Chris Drew, you will love Chris Drew. He's so fun and such a great medium. And then Maureen Hancock. And I love Maureen. She's the best. I mean, it's a really great group of mediums, and it's going to be so fun. It's going to be a week. And let's see what we're going to be doing. Renee, can you put that down just a little bit so I can see the rest? We're going to do a Beyond Goodbye. I love that. 5 mediums on stage. It'll be, a lot of us. It'll be Lauren. Different nights. We have different people. I'll be with James that first night, and that's going to be so much fun. And we're going to be doing a night of spirit readings. And then we're going to have a second night with the second group, which is going to be a great one too. And please join us. It's also, it's got a whole bunch of things on here. If you go to the website, and Renee will post this if you're interested in attending. We're going to have one night where you get to have dinner with all the mediums. And it's, let's see, how did they say? We're going to start with, like, you'll be sitting at a table with, I don't know, me and, but different people. And then I'll move to another table, and, James will move to another table, and all of us will move to another table. So you get to spend a lot of time with us. So it's just going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's the end of September. I believe it's the 28th, 29th, 30th, if I have that right, and October 1st and 2nd. I probably have the days off, but something like that. So please join us if you can. It's going to be a great experience for everybody. So please join us in Los Angeles, which is my hometown. So I can't wait. Okay. So, Susan Carver, why am I seeing 444? Well, that would mean that the angels, 444, are the angels trying to get in touch with you. So pay attention to angel cards, angel anything. I think so. Hi, Kat Shoa. How are you? June 24th. June 24th, Kat. You are a 6 of clubs. 6 of clubs wants to speak their truth. They're very creative too, but really need to speak their truth. That's what you come to do in this lifetime. Very important. Elsa, let's say Audrey McHellenany. I don't think I'm saying that right. I'm sorry. I have a baby coming in June. Yay. I would love a reading. So your birthday is 6/11. So you are a 6 of diamonds too. You definitely come in to be a mother here. Definitely. This is going to be amazing. So your baby's coming. I think she's going to be very special. I do. I think this baby's going to be extremely special for you. And it's a perfect time to bring these souls in right now. I think we're going to see a lot of souls coming in during this time because of some of the astrological aspects that several months ago. So it's perfect. Mary Pennick, love Vedic astrology. Spot on with signs. Would appreciate a card. And you're 210. Me too, Mary. I love it. I just think it's amazing, Vedic astrology. So February 10th. So February 10th is a 2 of spades. So 2 of spades always come in with a distinct voice. They often could be radio announcers. They also have to overcome fear. So 2 of spades is always about overcoming fear and using your creativity. And partnership is really important to a 2 of spades, really important. But come to overcome fear. And I would say have somebody with healing too. Don Mueller. Hi, Kelly. Can I have a meeting reading? Today's your birthday. Don, happy birthday. Oh my gosh. 3/9. Wow, that's very exciting. Okay, Ace of Spades. So Ace of Spades is somebody that so here's would be you. You would have to deal with the mundane world, the physical world, and the spiritual world. And it's a balance there. So at some point in your life, well, not at some point, probably all of it, the material would be important. Money, the work, all that would be very important. But also the spirituality will come and will be very, very important. And this year for you will be, since your birthday falls right into this interesting time, which so does our producer, Renee. I know your birthday's on the 11th, and Dr. Shirley's birthday's tomorrow. So all of you have what I would say big transformations coming this year, because this is right smack between that full moon we just had and some of these other aspects that are going on. And it's going to bring a lot of change in the world. And I would say to you too, Don, happy birthday, honey. I think that's going to be great. Nicole Johnson, you live in Wisconsin too? Are you getting snow like us? We're having all kinds of snow here. Oh, Sherry Kraft, you had asked a good question, and I wanted to answer that question too, if I can find it here. You said, where did it go? Hold on a second. You said you had never felt a moon so much, which I appreciate this very much. You said I could feel the energy coming up from my feet from our full moon that we had on Tuesday. It was unbelievable. And down from my crown chakra all day. She said I had to go to town and couldn't get back home fast enough because she wanted to meditate, basically. And you were happy all day. It really, it brought you an amazing feeling. That moon brought a lot of happiness and joy to people. So I'm glad thank you for sharing that, because I think that's really important. And I want to answer this. This is from Kavita Govender. She said, hi, Kelly. Recently, I've been feeling very down and despondent as I feel my life is so stagnant. May I please have a mini reading? So I know that, and your birthday is September 14th, and that makes you a 10 of clubs. And yes, I'm going to get you a card. Now, there's going to be a lot of change in this month with energy. So I bet you that starts to move. And I'm sorry you're despondent. Do you want to see a therapist? Would that be a good thing for you? It might help to start kind of getting in touch with, what's going on, inside, what's really going on. So I think that might be important here. Somebody asked me, here it is, Mary Penkick, you asked me, she said, so enjoy your insight. She said, on Monday's show with James, Both Sides Down and Beyond, she said, you mentioned mental disorders are not an illness. That's not exactly what I said. I'll tell you how I can explain it. As what I did say that from the other side perspective. So I had a traumatic brain injury, which was really a near-death experience, close to it. And what I saw from that place was that there was no such thing as mental illness. What I saw was different degrees of trauma, and that's what I saw. So I know somebody might have major depression, somebody might be bipolar. These are terms that we use here, but it could be just deep um, traumas, frankly, that they haven't worked through, traumas that they haven't worked through, and that they need help with. So that's how I and also, if also when we talk about mental disorders, I'm not sure if you meant personality disorders, because all of that kind of falls under the same thing with trauma. Okay, I know it's a lot, but okay. Lori Rogalski Phillips, our oldest son, passed in November of 2020, and my husband, 42 years, passed in February of 2022. Oh my God, Lori. Are there any messages for us, basically, and our surviving son? Yes. First of all, they're together. They are together, Lori. That's a lot of loss. That is probably too much loss. I really can feel them around with you, both of them, and they're together. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. So let's get your cards from them. I have to start with, they're always around you. Okay, I can feel their energy around you. I send you loving signs through nature. So they're both must be into nature. Pay attention to all kinds of nature signs. Okay. They know that I'm hearing from them. They know that you're grieving. They and your son. They spend this is a very close knit family. They're still with you on some level. They're there with you. So pay attention to all kinds of signs. I think they're going to be real active now, real active. And thank you, Renee, for posting that. I'm so sorry, Laurie. That's a tremendous amount right there. Okay, you take care, my friend. Allison Wooster. Hi, Allison. I really look forward to the show on Thursday. Thank you. Well, thanks for sharing your insight, Kelly. You're very welcome. Thank you. Let's get you a card just because from the soul's journey. Purpose. I know what I am here to do. All right, Allison. There you go. You know what you're here to do. So keep doing it. I think that's great. Janet Sanchez. Hi, how can I get a personal reading? I would like a card. Thank you. So you are February 17. So February 17 is an 8 of diamonds. So 8 of diamonds is about value. You can always spot an 8 of diamonds because they have a big smile, like a teethy big smile. Big smile. You can always, I swear I can always point them out in a crowd. And they're very fun and loving, and they also would have had challenges in relationships, which is what you would come to explore, would be relationships in this life. Okay. And anybody who would like an in-depth reading with me, go to kelleywhite.com because Carissa just posted my April schedule. So there you go. Let's see. What else do I have here? Okay, Lisa Calazadias. I'm so sorry. I'm just so not good with names. Kelly, my focus is sharing energy and sound healing with wildlife sanctuaries. How cool is that? I never heard anybody say that. My energy flow was so strong in Costa Rica, but could not stay there safely. I wonder what happened. Left in 2020 when the country shut down. So it looks like I'm staying in the United States off grid, traveling in a trailer to sanctuaries for now. Do you see me leaving the United States within a year or staying? My energy flow seems not as strong here as a rule. The work is so important to me. Can I help? Can I help you? Yeah, I will help you with this. It's interesting. All of us have a certain place where our energy really runs great. And if you found that, if you're an energy healer and wildlife, I mean, I've got chills. It would make sense, Costa Rica. If that's where your passion comes in, if that's where a certain energy, that vibration is great for you, then you'll be going back there. Maybe right now in your traveling trailer, traveling off grid, you're here to help certain people and learn from them, and they'll learn from you along the way. But I suspect you get back there probably in the next year or so. You'd get back there. Good question. And really, congratulations in doing that work. It's so important to Mother Nature, so important to Earth. Helen Maher. Hi, Helen. I'm hoping you can help me regarding my dog. I'm starting him on new medications tomorrow, May 9th. So your birthday is your birthday May 9th, or is this when you're starting new medications? I'm not sure. But May 9th, which is today, it's not. That's March 9th. May 9th is 10 of diamonds. So 10 of diamonds brings a lot of blessings. And I'm not an animal communicator that much, but I would say this. I would be contacting Tammy Hendricks. I think she's terrific. She does a show on Wednesdays, and I would be contacting her at, I think it's tammyhendricks.com is her website. And that's what I would do. I would absolutely have her help you with that, because she's like the animal whisperer. She knows all of that. So I think that's what I would do. So there you go. So Joanne, hi Joanne, happy to share the hour with you. Any health messages for me? And your birthday is 10/10. 10/10. So 10/10, October 10. And your birthday, you are a queen of clubs. So Joanne, there's a lot of queen of clubs always obsesses about their health. I've never had one that didn't. And so I would say that make this year the year of you, the year of healing, the year of letting go of negative thoughts. That's what I would do, Joanne. That's exactly what I would do. Okay. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Hi, Gretchen White. Hi, Kellee. Have you ever looked into Native American astrology? I haven't. It's based on the earth with clans, totems, and spirit animals. Another interesting layer. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I didn't call it astrology, but I have seen the Native American with the clans and the totems. I love all of that, and spirit animals. But that is fascinating. I will look into that, Gretchen. See, I love different lenses. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. TT James. Hi, Kellee. I just love you and your show. Well, thank you. My name is Tracy, and my birthday is August 26th. I just turned 60, and my life turned upside down. Can I give you some good news? Yes. So I'm going to explain the life turning upside down at 60. Between 58, 59, and 60, we have what's called our second solar return. So Saturn return, I mean. This first Saturn return is 28, 29, 30. And that's where life gets serious. And, it's the Saturn part of our life. It starts off, we usually get married, have a family, have a job, those kind of things. It's serious stuff. When we get to 58, 59, 60, that's the second Saturn return. Now, Saturn return the second time comes with the benefit of Jupiter, which brings wisdom. I suspect if your life was turned upside down, that the universe said, okay, now we're going to learn some more, and we're going to release you from where you were and turn you upside down, and we're going to go over here now. And the good news is that is the good news. It might feel very odd during this time, and then it will get better for you. It will get better. And August 26th is a great day, and that is a King of Hearts. So King of Hearts are very intuitive. We call this the loving father. So you would have a male brain, but to help others. So whatever life turned upside down would be just so you can maybe view things from a different perspective. Always when our life turns upside down, we're here to learn something or many things. I've had my life turn upside down, too many times to count. Too many times to count. Charlene Miller, what do sparrows and also doves mean? Doves always have something to do with love. After my father's funeral was finished and we went to my mom's house, there were hundreds of sparrows screeching so loudly in the front tree. Wow, 9 months later, my sister Barb passed. Oh my gosh. When all was finished, I brought him home with me. He opened my front door, and both of us stood there in shock, seeing hundreds of doves on the snow in my front yard. That is something else. I've got chills. Let's get you a card there from everybody, because this is just such an amazing story. I can't think of sparrows right now, what that is, but doves mean love. Okay. And here's what I'm going to tell you about your father and your sister. They watch over you every day. Okay. And I think birds are the greatest messengers that we have. I just love birds. Eloise Shea. Hi, Kellee. When my dad died, I was in deep mourning for 6 months. I was so full of regret. And one afternoon, I astral traveled to the other side and walked and spoke to him telepathically. Bravo, girl. That is fantastic. He told me we live with regrets and die with regrets. You didn't do anything wrong. Next thing I knew, I was back in my body. I was healed from my loss. Do a lot of people experience this? Anita, that is the best experience, and I wish everybody would experience it. What you did, it's interesting. You actually astral traveled there. And had that experience. Not everybody gets that experience, but I don't see why they couldn't. Because literally when you go to bed, you just are determined you want to meet with that person. And how it works is, I've done that a few occasions. And you get just a few seconds to get your words in telepathically. Just a few seconds, not that long, usually. And then you're right back in the body. In my case, I've been thrown out many a time trying to break through, let me out of here. But the fact that you had that experience is extraordinary, and you got healing with it. So I think everybody can do it. It's that's a level to do that, though. That's good for you. Linda Reynolds, I woke up to a vision of Jesus recently. Oh my gosh, specifically his face. Okay. That's fantastic. Last night I went to a sound bath. Lots of Jesus thought during this also. Purple visions also. What does all this mean? So when I first had my head injury, maybe a year after it, I was actually bleeding to death in my brain internally. I had a slow leaker and I bled for a year and a half. And all I can say is I looked up and Jesus was right in front of my face. Now, my father was Jewish. My mother was Southern Baptist. Honestly, I had no religion. So when I saw Jesus, it was like, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing, but I knew what I was seeing. And such a healer. And purple was so important with that. That's so important that you said that. It means that you are waking up to, a really deep consciousness thinking. Jesus has that deep consciousness of kindness and goodness and compassion. And I would say you're waking up to that. God bless you, Linda. I think that's fantastic. Really. Okay. So Nancy Powers, tell me a little bit about the Five of Diamonds. I love Five of Diamonds. Five of Diamonds is always surrounded by angels. So the moment I see somebody that's a Five of Diamonds, like, oh, you have a lot of angels around. And they'll say, yeah, I love angels. That's usually the first thing. Yeah, I love angels because they have angels around. Five of Diamonds has to overcome self-worth. And I always suspected that's why they have a lot of angels around, because it does not mean an easy life. It means a life where you have to really heal that wound and love yourself. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, So anyway, everybody. So I want to thank you for joining me tonight, and join James and me on Monday night. And our topic is getting unstuck. So we're going to be talking about it spiritually. We're talking about psychologically, getting unstuck. So anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Take care, everybody.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.